Hey there, Start here. So I've gotten into Clash of Wills against the Shogun of Unknown Origin, Nabunoga, and I went ahead and cleared up to level 99. If you saw my, preparing for Clash of Wills video that I put out a couple of days ago, you already know the team that I'm going to show you. I'm just going to show you the FTKO team that I came up with in that video just to clear this one up to level 99. I'm going to show you guys how we get it done. It's very, very simple. You can probably turn on a couple of the mods. If you have the gear and the units that I'm going to use exactly, we're going to overkill. We're going to almost double the boss's maximum HP. So you could probably put a couple of these modifiers on. I wouldn't do the HP lock if you're just trying to FTKO, obviously. But you could do we could do the party elemental resist. You could probably even do enemy elemental resist. You could do the enemy's attack and magmod because we're going to kill him the first turn. Probably get away with some of these other ones. But just an example, you can get away with a couple of mods on this one, I think. I'm just going to turn those two on for the shits and giggles. And so here's the team. This probably looks familiar. Again, if you saw my previous video, preparing for Clash of Wills, we've got 2B, Axstar is providing the turn 1 breaks and Dark Imperil. Sylvie's providing buffs. Demon Killer for Golbez. Chizuru and 2B are just chaining it up for Golbez to cap, really. Golbez basically carries the fight. And then Melissa is there for the Dark Imbue, as well as the Human Killer to go on Golbez. All right, I'll show you the gear because this is very simple, so there's no RNG factor in this. So 2B, you don't have to worry about a Brave Shift form. This is my 2B geared. She's of course geared, decked out with all the best stuff that I have. Yours does not need to be this strong. We're gonna do like 3 billion damage with this team. The boss only has 1.8, so don't sweat it if your 2B is not as strong, or if you don't even have 2B, if you just, if you just have another unit you can put in her place, that would be perfectly fine. She's maxed out on the killers. We've got, if it'll show me, 300 human, 300 demon, 300 LB damage, ready to rock and roll. She does need to be EX2 at the least to have her LB up on turn 1, obviously. Okay? But if you don't have the Dark Visions Katana, don't sweat it. Just put her STMR on her. That's fine. Axstar is naked. The only thing I put on him is Dark Breaker. That's just in case you don't have him EX plus 2. If you've only got like an EX0 or an EX1 Axstar, then just put on his TMR, and that will work perfectly fine with this team, because that'll still do an 85% break and 130% imperil for you. You just need somebody to break and imperil the boss to dark on turn 1. That's really all you need, and Axstar is just the easiest solution for me. But yeah, I'm sure there are other good options you could use out there, and yeah, that's just the one that I am going with. Sylvie, she's going to be starting in Brave Shift form. Her gear is irrelevant. She can be naked. You just need her Brave Shift. You just need access to her Brave Shift form. She doesn't need to be EX2 or 3. She can be EX1. That's fine. The gear is irrelevant. She just needs access to her Brave Shift form, and that is it. Chizuru, you can ignore her normal form in her Brave Shift form. Again, just gave her some good gear. I did upgrade my Ruler's Celestite Crown with the new upgrades that we got. So if you don't remember that, we got upgrades to the crown. And so don't forget to go in there if you have some Xenostones. Don't forget to go in there and upgrade that crown to either, I would recommend either the Magister's Plus if you need another source of chain cap, or the Ruler's Plus for the crown. I went for the Ruler's Plus. But otherwise, yeah, some cow gear, just make sure she's capped on killers. Cool Smile card is nice because it gives her a nice mod boost, but it's absolutely not necessary for this. 300 human, 300 demon, ready to go, 300 LP damage. She's good to go. That's all you need. Melissa, you can ignore the gear. This is just the gear that I had favorited to her, sort of like in preparation for the upcoming Clash of Wills. So you can ignore the gear. She can be naked. Doesn't even need to be EX1. She can be EX0, and that's perfectly fine. My Golbez does have the Dark Vision Sword. It's not necessary, but of course it is nice, gives him a nice damage boost. And then, he's just wearing his armor. One piece of magic gear for the chain cap boost. The circlet caps off his magic TDH for him, which is really nice. If you don't have that though, something like Lulu's necklace works fine. Emil's head is just the best, highest mag helm that I have. Since we've got the ruler's crown on Chizuru. You could put your ruler's crown on Golbez. It would probably be better on Golbez, to be honest with you. But yeah, as you'll see, it doesn't really matter here. And then just, stacking them up with killers. Dazzling Demonist card. If you don't have Dazzling Demonist, you can still do this clear with Oliveira's Vision card, and that should work just fine. You can also bring in X-Death. X-Death actually gears fairly decently for this trial since he's got a lot of innate human killer. So you can get away with using X-Death here as well, but I prefer Golbez personally. He is maxed out on Demon and Human, ready to go. Alright, so this is the team that I'm using, and we'll see. We're going to get in here and just slaughter this guy on turn 1. Alright, so he does an ambush where he does a gravity attack, a 90% gravity attack. We saw that in the news. We knew he was going to do something like this. Also comes with healing reduction. If you're actually taking more than one turn to do this, you can have Melissa remove that with her skill on this turn, but we're not going to bother. We're just going in for the kill. Alright, we'll start with Axstar. He can just go ahead and do his LB, or his TMR ability. Either one, he just gets that out of the way. Sylvie is going to do Paladin's Offense for the buffs, Poach Demon on Golbez, and Clever Paladin Strike for the Sword and Peril. Melissa will do Abyssal Blessing for the Dark Imbue, Human Killer to Golbez, and then she can do whatever for her other one. She could do like Minutes of Might, because that does a slightly higher LB buff to the party. Sylvie's Paladin's offense only does a 200 LB buff, so Minutes of Might does a 250, so slightly better buff for Chizuru and 2B there. Alright, they will of course do their LBs. Golbez will drop a Meteor. You see we've got 87% breaks, 180% Dark and Peril, and all of our killers ready to go. So we'll start with Golbez, then we'll send 2B and Chizuru. And there you go, easy peasy, 3.2. Yeah, like we basically doubled the amount of damage we needed to do. Massive overkill there. So very easy to get away with a first turn kill on this one to farm this boss up all the way up to level 99. And as you'll see, Golbez basically does all the damage. He does more damage than 2B and Chizuru combined on this one, so yeah, you can easily get away with a Meteor user just nuking this guy from orbit. Alright, and that's pretty much it. I will do a more budget option clear for you guys. I'll be working on that now, just trying to do sort of a budget team clear, and I will hopefully have that for you later on today. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful, and I will see you on the other side.